All right, before I call this meeting in order, just one housekeeping order here. It is the policy in our policy on meetings that no cell phones in the chambers here. And in the past, I've seen a few of them out here, so anybody that has a phone, with the exception of our gallery, you guys make sure you turn yours off, but any of the counselors here, either take them out to your vehicles or throw them in the basket here, and you can retrieve them at the end of the meeting. So,
Your Worship, staff have no cell phones in the meeting. Kelly may have hers to refer to the subject matter at hand tonight. That's
correct. That's the only exception. So if you have something pressing and you need it, you're accepting, let me know. Otherwise, that's the way it's going to be. All right, 5:30. Oh, okay. Thank you very much. All right, 5:30. I'd like to call the regular council meeting for March the 25th to order. First order of business, call for pecuniary interest regarding the agenda. We have a couple things in camera, but I don't believe anybody's any interdiction in there, so I'm not worried about that. The agenda, a couple things that I'd like to add. First thing is update on our peace officers here, so I'd like to call that one 6.1 under presentations. And then the second thing is that we've had, today we've had an update from the council regarding the arena this afternoon in their meeting. So I'd like to discuss that in closed meeting under 13.2, Section 26, Intergovernmental Relations, so an arena update. So that's it. Does anybody have any other additions or? If not, can I have a motion to accept the agenda with those two additions?
I'll move the agenda with those two additions.
All in favor? That's carried. Very good. Okay, first order of business, 4.1, the adoption of previous minutes, the regular meeting, February 24th, special meeting, March the 10th, and then the committee of the whole meeting on March the 10th. Are there any errors or omissions that anybody would like to bring forward? Having heard none, can I get a motion to adopt those minutes as is?
A motion to adopt those minutes as is.
Thank you. All in favor? That is carried. So, we'll get into 6.1, Peace Officer Update. C. O'Donnell, would you please like to do an introduction for us? Or?
I can do this. I'd like to introduce you to John Day, CPO John Day, and I'll stand to introduce so John can sit here so I can move.
I'll stand, go ahead.
You gonna stand? Okay. And John has been with us not so long yet, but he's doing a great job. John's also a military police officer reserve, which is absolutely fantastic, and he's doing between he and Pasquale here, they're doing a great job. We've got some initiatives we're going to talk about, not tonight, but operational planning we're going to be doing, and what will happen is we want to be able to bring quarterly updates from the Peace Officer Corps, but too regular. Then because of what they're telling us or what we may need to do, we can get a motion right away, and if we have to do something, change something, affect something, then we have the motion. So, CPO John, floor is yours.
All right, so I came on in August. My appointment came in October 21st. So since October 21st, that's when I've been acting independently within the town authority. Before that, I could only follow around Pasquale. So, what I brought forth is just the statistics for 2025 from when I started onward, and then for 2026 so far. So in 2025, we had a total of 9 occurrence reports and 6 violation tickets written on our reporting software. There's a difference between our ticketing software and our reporting software. Our ticketing software comes free from the province of Alberta, so there is no analytics with it. There's no way for me to check how many were written. Pasquale and I estimate that per month we're writing about 15 electronic tickets, and then the stat here of the 6 are from handwritten tickets that I manually enter into our reporting software. So it can be anywhere from 15 to probably about 30 between the two of us, both coming and going from Thorsby throughout the week. Last year, busiest day of the week was Wednesday with the most occurrences combined between violation tickets and files that were being written. So going forward, we would look at being here more often on Wednesdays, or at least spending more time here when we are here. 2026, as of today, we had 14 occurrences of files created, and then 7 violation tickets written, which will be written by hand, which is why they're entered into this. Again, we continue to estimate that it's between 15 and 30, 15 offenses from each of us are being written on e-ticketing. Unfortunately, we have no method of tracking that at this time. We are looking to move to a private software, but that does cost money. Apologies, one second. Tenderly, thank you. As of this year, Tuesday has been our most, where we've been finding our most stuff, where we've either created files or handwritten violation tickets, with Wednesday being a close second. So it appears that the middle of the week, since August to now, the middle of the week has been the busiest for this town that we have found so far. So we'll continue to be here on my set of shifts. So if I work usually 2 days or 3 days in a row, so like 3 on, 2 off, 2 on, 2 off, 3 on, and a rotation like that. When I work 2 days, I spend both of them here. When I work 3 days, I spend 2 of those 3 here. Not the entire day, of course. So the way we have it worked out currently is that we come in, we come out here, we take a look around. If nothing, if we can't find anything, or if no one calls us, we might head back to Kalmar. Then we'll come back here later in the day. At any point, even if I am in Kalmar and I receive a call for this town, as long as it's not 5 minutes to the end of shift, I will come out here and I will come and deal with it, even if it's not a day that's slotted to be for time in Thorsby. It doesn't really matter which who you work for. If a call comes in, you're going to go to the first. So far, our most common offenses that we deal with here, at least for the recorded record, are bylaw violations. Just due to the nature of the e-ticketing not being recorded, it would be a higher statistic if we had it recorded, but based on what we have recorded, the most common thing we do here is the bylaws at the moment. Any questions?
Council, anybody have questions? So I have one question. So, the number that's posted there for bylaw or complaints, is that your number, or is that just a number, a call number, and then you monitor that?
Sorry, I don't think I'm understanding.
So there's on our website, there's a number for
A phone number.
correct.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, on the Thorsby page under bylaws,
Yes.
is our logo and our phone number for our department.
Okay.
So people reach us directly.
All right. So then you get, anytime there's a complaint, it ends up with.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we have it set up recently, probably 3 months ago. We got a new phone number for our department.
Right.
So now you call the department number and it forwards to both of our cell phones. Being more efficient, that way you get whichever officer is on shift, whether it be me or senior peace officer Legio.
Okay.
And do you guys cover 24/7 or
No.
daytime shifts?
So we don't tell people what shifts we do. It's not on Google and it's not posted anywhere, even in our town office. So even our town employees don't know exactly what hours we work. So we prefer to keep that private for officer safety issues. Legio has had issues with people assaulting him in the past in Kalmar and hiding out, waiting for him to finish his shift. I myself had an individual following me in the last town that I worked for, and I had to get an order of protection against them. So I agree with him that we should not be telling people when we work, but no, it is not 24/7 because there's only 2 of us. The majority, so we work 4 10-hour shifts, each of us, so there's one day where we overlap. He uses that to do emergency management or sometimes rides with me, but usually leaves me to my own business.
Thanks.
I have the shifts, but I'm supposed to.
Well, welcome aboard, and, look forward to working with you. Yes, Wendy, do you have a question?
Not really, I have a comment.
Yes.
Thank you for your service.
Oh, thank you.
You were busy this afternoon on 49 Avenue, we saw you, and
Yes,
thank
I
you
was.
for your help with that neighborhood.
You're welcome.
All right, well, that's it. Thank you very much. Appreciate you coming in, and, it's been a nasty night out there tonight, so.
Yes, as well.
There might be one more comment.
Oh, I can't see back there.
Just, I just keep trying to go around.
So,
I just don't know if it's by law or not, but that place on 53rd, down there where they have all the junk in his yard and torn apart trailers and all that kind of stuff, is there a bylaw about,
Yes.
you know, keeping property kind of half decently neat? I don't know if he's a business or what, if he sells stuff or fixes it, or,
Is that Madison here?
I'm not sure the name.
yeah.
Yeah, I think you're aware of them.
It's in the
Yeah.
first block
Yeah,
there, and it's just full, the whole yard, and
part of
it's pretty unsightly.
part of our issue is that, that's a corner lot in a side yard. What we think is his front yard is not, it's a side yard.
Oh, yeah.
And he was unfortunately told quite a few councils ago, administrations ago, that to put up a chain link fence. What should have happened is kind of like your council, Kevin, right? The corner is open, but then you could build a higher fence, like a 6-footer around. Corner lots have lots of trouble. CPO John and I are gonna chat about that. I have some thoughts on that to assist, but.
It's really not probably my business, but it's been, he keeps adding, it keeps
Yeah,
more
yeah.
and more and more, and I
Got a
don't
big
know.
yard.
Yeah,
We're gonna fill it up.
it's all lined up. There's a couple of things in the yard that, CPO John and I, CPO Pasquale and I will chat with them about, but it's hard, and I can't force them to build a fence.
No, I don't know if he sells stuff after he fixes them, or if it's a business, or if he's.
No,
in
he's
business.
gone all the time. He works out of town.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so there's a couple of things we have to chat with them about, for sure, in his yard right there that we can't have. But I wish back then that he would have been able to have his chain link or even a hedge or something on the corner, because he has to by law have that corner open.
Yeah.
But I think he got some bad advice a long time ago to put a 4-foot chain link fence all around his yard, and that was bad advice. But we can't force him to fix that.
That was
right
previous
now.
owner.
Yeah, the previous owner, yeah. So he's stuck with what was done before, but we have some things we can chat with him about, so.
Right, it's just.
We're aware of which one you're talking about.
We know.
Oh, yeah, it's, like, there's so much going on in the area that's good. You know, new building and all that stuff, and then you drive in there and it just looks like it's, the junkyard more than anything that you can buy parts from, or whatever, I don't
Pick
know.
apart.
Pretty
I
much.
know, I know.
saying with that squid?
I think it's worse.
Now, I've seen worse ones in Crow's Nest Path, with all due respect, so.
Okay.
Anyways.
I brought that up to Donna as well.
Okay, well, thank you very much, and thank you,
Thank you.
and, stay safe out
Yeah,
there.
take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, can I, get a motion to accept these verbal reports from the peace officer for information?
I'll make that motion to accept that verbal information from the peace officer.
Thank you, all in favor? Carried. All right, moving on, 7.1, Chief Administrator Officer Contract Review. So we brought this back here, and maybe I'll just get you to just kind of read over the executive summary in that, Donna, if you don't mind, please, and then I'll take over and we'll get into the review.
Thank you, Your Worship. Council is committed to adhering to the Municipal Government Act by providing a CAO through contract review. This process must follow the Municipal Government Act. This is not a performance evaluation, but rather a review to bring the council and CAO to a better working relationship and to satisfy the requirements of the Municipal Government Act regarding a yearly CAO contract review, sir.
Thank you. So what we've got here, there's 11 items here. So what I'd like to do is debate on each one. I'll read it aloud here. And then it's up to comment for council here to either, if you have a recommendation, either state that the parameters are being met, or if you think more involvement is required, or something has to be done, or you'd like to see something done in there, provide the details, and CO Donna will make notes, and she'll either make a comment or just take it for consideration, and we'll move on. I mean, the whole idea of this thing is, it's not a performance evaluation, but it's rather a review to bring the council and the CA to better working relationships, and also to satisfy the requirements of the MGA Act. So it's not a grading, it's not a percentage, anything like that, so.
And is this a council review or a gallery review as well?
I'm sorry?
Is this just councilor review or a gallery review as well?
No, it's just the council. This is a regular meeting, so, at the end of the section for the delegations, or, the public, if they want to make a comment at that time. But, I mean, it's up to us to make the decision on this here, so. Any questions? Anybody? No? All right, well, let's get at it then. So, item number 1, summary of service to provide. So the job of the CEO is to advise council and make recommendations regarding municipal operations. Does anybody see any problems with that, or anything further they'd like to see?
I found no faults.
All right. Number 2, fulfillment of service provided. CEO is to prepare the agendas and special meetings when required. I think we've all been through the agendas, and we know that if somebody wants something else on here, that's kind of my job. And then if you want to see something on there, you do it the RFP, and then away we go. So.
I think it's been thorough.
Thank you. Number 3, deliver of contracted services. Ensure that council decisions are implemented. So once we've made a motion and we come up with a decision, and then it's up to the CAO to ensure that these are implemented. And does everybody feel that that's being done?
I would say so. I mean, we haven't had a whole bunch of decisions because we're all so new at it yet, but, I mean, we've had land sales and the road and everything else, yeah, so, yeah.
Okay. Like I say, if you feel there's more things you'd like to be see done, now's the time to say something, so.
There's no malice from the CAO for these considerations, sir.
All right. Number 4, governance support to council. Provide orientation to council and clarification of their roles as an elected official. So I'll point out a couple things in there. So we've all done the 101 in Trading Valley. We've also had the lawyer here to give her. So I think that one's pretty self-explanatory. No questions, no comments?
Again, I found no faults.
Okay. Number 5, administration of municipal operations. Direct public works and office administration in accordance with funds allotted in the budget. This is actually a pretty big, sounds pretty simple, but it's a pretty big order in there.
I haven't seen any concerns.
Anybody else? No? Number 6, financial stewardship. Maintain current and accurate financial records. Now, obviously, Donna doesn't do that herself, but she delegates CFO Cindy to that. So we just had our audit done here. They finished in the last little while or not?
They are just finishing up the financial statement,
Okay.
but I do have the trial balance, so.
Great.
Yeah, and it's looking like it's a $652,000 surplus. Well, financial, accounting surplus, which is different than a dollar surplus.
Okay. Any questions, follow-up?
I'd like to see some changes in that. I've addressed this a number of times, and I get percentages. Percentage of 0 is 0 to me. So I'd like some more, I don't know what the word it is you want to use. I'd like some numbers given out instead of percentages.
On something specific, or are you talking?
Yeah, and in general. Like, I know if I said, how much did we spend last month? It's 30% of the budget. Well, that doesn't tell me bugger all. So, and I know there's other stuff coming.
Mm-hmm.
I know that, I understand
Yeah,
that part.
I know you.
I'm just trying to get just a rough number.
Okay.
So
So,
that's,
Donna, do you wanna make note of that, or you wanna make a comment, or you want to?
I can make a comment on that.
I've made notes on that. Usually variance reports are the way to go with, financial stewardship. I can pretty much tell what we're spending per month, subtracting 1 month from another. It's not likely, I'll take that under consideration. It's not likely that we would, give a whole bunch of numbers out because, it's just not the way it's done. And I'm kind of trying to understand, with all due respect, as to, do we want to see, is the councilor's concern that they want to see how much we spent in tires this month, or is council's concern how much?
no, I've brought that up before, just in general. Just in general.
So can I ask
Yeah,
a
go ahead,
question?
see if you know.
So is there a reason, Councillor Kevin, that you can't take the variance report from February and have total expenses and subtract that from the variance report in January, and that's what we spent in the month?
Okay, so, Mr. Mayor, here's my answer to that question to you, is we're paying an accountant to do it. Take her 2 minutes to do that.
Take you 2 minutes.
So why should I have to do that when we're paying somebody else to do it? When it's a simple, easy question.
Okay,
It's like you cutting checks. When you cut checks, you know roughly what the expenses is.
Okay, what I can do is, like I say, Donna, and then you take the notes here, and then I'll sit down with you guys and see if there's something we can do. That is.
Like I was told in the past, that's what previous council wanted, and that's the way it's been happening from previous council.
And you'd like to see that every month, Kevin?
No, just when asked for, just simply when asked for. If we have $1 million budget, in my head, okay, well, we spent, how much did we spend last month? Just as an example. Spent $180,000 minus wages, blah, blah, blah. That's an easy calculation.
Okay,
So it's a numbers thing. That's what it is. But 2% of bugger all tells me nothing. It doesn't give me an.
Okay, well, I can sit down, I know what you're saying, Kevin, and I'll sit down with the CFO, and if that's okay with you, and we'll sit down and we'll see
I
what
still
we can
don't
come up.
understand though, because of why you can't figure out what 2% of $1 million is.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I think it's pretty simple. Like, you're the accountant. You should be able to just come up with that number.
well, Kevin, there's 7,000 numbers that go through my head in a month. Like, I don't remember exactly what the expenses are.
Forget it.
Well, no, it's not as
No,
simple as,
I'll sit down,
Yeah,
you and I,
we'll
maybe we
talk.
can come up with something.
I just want you to, it's not as simple as just me adding up 4 numbers.
Okay.
There's 300 and some,
Okay.
like,
No, I mean, the whole idea is the comment, and you brought it, so
Maybe
I appreciate the comment, and, I will certainly sit down with you, and we'll see what we can come up with.
Maybe if we could take a February variance report and March variance report and just highlight the 2 numbers that this one needs to be subtracted from that one to get the answer that we're looking for. Just to broaden our horizons.
Okay, noted. All right, moving on. Number 7, legislative compliance and risk management. Review and update bylaws as required to minimize any legal liabilities to the municipality. And, I don't know, maybe, Jesse, how many bylaws do you guys do a year?
Which Jesse? Well, the goal is not necessarily to push out bylaws,
Yes.
because that's not proper legislative practice as far as I've learned, and Donna, correct me if I'm wrong, it's, you want to really address the bylaws, whether they are working or whether they are not working, and we don't want to change anything that's based off of, if one person has an issue with the bylaw, but the greater whole of Thorsby doesn't have an issue with the bylaw, if that sort of makes sense. And I think I remember that when we were doing strategic planning training, that the planner had mentioned not to change things drastically. So we address bylaws and fix bylaws as they grow to be either outdated for Thorsby. Like, for example, our dog control bylaw was outdated. We recognized in our practices that it wasn't working. Thorsby at one point didn't have a proper, records management bylaw, so we addressed that, and we created that bylaw. Probably our fees and services bylaw is the one you see updated the most, and that's just because we're constantly adding new services and new things to the town, and so that'll always change, but, you know, I would say we've done a really good job of addressing the outdated ones, and I haven't identified anything key.
Okay. I will make a comment on that. I know when I first started here in 2021, you know, we had some legal things going on, and the lawyers couldn't find a single bylaw anywhere. And I will say that now that you can go to the website, they're all there. It's much improved, and I think it's a good job, isn't there? Because at least you can find them, because I know myself, you couldn't find a bylaw before, not for your life, so.
Yeah, and I don't post every bylaw on the website, because that would be redundant to the people,
but the
right?
main
Not a lot of
ones-
people care about the CFO's operating powers or
Yeah.
stuff like that, right? So, but, you know,
Yeah.
the fact that I'm always available for it, I think is a great improvement for Thorsby, and you can just call and ask it.
That would be my comment anyhow. I think it's much improved, so. Anybody have any other comments or anything else they want to see? No. Number 8, service delivery and community outcomes. Establish MOUs with all service groups and receive funds from the municipality. And, I believe that's been done. Does anybody have any discussion on it?
I can offer some context, Your Worship, on that one if you'd like.
I'm sorry?
I can offer some context
Yeah.
on that.
Go ahead.
Just to update you. So basically, MOUs are signed and canceled by council. So council's been aware of all the MOUs. We certainly don't do that in the dark. Just to give you an update, the Historical Society has a 32-year lease, so we treat that as a lease, not an MOU. The Lions have a campground memorandum of understanding. The Chamber MOU for Taylor Park expired, and it's reverted back to the town. So we're looking after that, and whatever Communities in Bloom would like to do to make it gorgeous and all those kinds of things. The Thorsby Legion were supported only at this time as they're receiving grants and working with Veterans Affairs to build the park. The town offers side permission on a development permit, no cost to the Legion, and administrative liaison at this time. So we're offering administrative liaison. We're happy to help the Legion out with you know, signage and that, because they're raising money, so that's not an issue. Communities in Bloom with prior administrations and councils, there is expectation for CIB to conduct their business at their current understanding, and we initiated an MOU system for all community groups because of the ratepayers' dollars, and it was an anomaly that this was uncomfortable with improper reporting systems. They initiated a hiatus, to which we're in talks at this time and working back towards this to see what the community would want, wishes to do. And we'll get to that here in a bit. Haven't talked to them all winter, but chatted with the President Barry at the winter Spirit of Christmas, and had a great discussion with them. So, Warburg Colony agreement for planting and growing town potted flowers. Volunteers that are on have a volunteer document to satisfy the insurance. Our legal counsel indicated as a volunteer, they just need a letter from us that they're on our insurance, and our insurance company says, indicated that's what we do, is just put them there and they can volunteer. The library, we're working with them, rebudget and other matters that they have brought forward for assistance, and we offer that to all the community groups as well. Don't feel bad, just come in, we'll sit with you, we'll be on the phone, we'll help you. And it's not an anomaly that community groups have to have budgets, because when you're receiving community funds, you need those MOUs, and you need the proper budgeting, and you need the proper paperwork. We have no problem sitting for hours and helping these community groups. We certainly have with the library. The Haymaker Agricultural Society, our duty there, I've spent liaison and we've accomplished bringing them back to the long weekend festivities in May. And they're excited to come back, and they've done quite a bit of improvements already with their website, their announcements, their website. We've also helped initiate them with Frontier Culvert. They've got some bad stuff going on in the back there with drainage and so forth. So Alec Bowman is donating the services to put the culverts in. I talked to Bruce at Frontier, who's the manager. They initiated a really nice price for the culverts that we needed. We have a sponsor plus the Haymaker that split the cost of the culverts, and they'll go in as soon as it stops pretending it's winter. It's going to dry out. So it's a mess. So those are just an update on all the things that are going on, at this time.
All right, thank you. Any other more discussion on that? All right, number 9, external relations. Post current happenings or events on the website and social media, answer resident concerns, and if required, bring to council for remediation. Comments, questions, improvements? Okay.
My assumption is that the resident concerns are being answered. Speak to somebody and suggest to them that they contact the office. I hope that they are contacting the office, and I suspect that they're getting an answer. They haven't gotten back to me to say nobody answered, and I will say sometimes to them, you know, if you're not getting a connection, let me know. I'll try to help you out, but I haven't had any issues that way.
I've had comments about just the water main breaks, that it's nice that some people weren't even aware, but this is happening because you posted it. So that's been very beneficial.
Yeah, I had one comment that they didn't see any water bubbling anywhere, so
Yeah,
they didn't know there was a water main break.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're going somewhere.
It was lovely.
Yeah.
2:00 at night, huh?
I can add some context, Your Worship, if you still care to. We answer every concern that comes through. A lot of times it comes through on the website, so it goes to the staff team at the front office, goes to Jesse, and comes to me. So folks are getting to know my cell phone number. So of course, when we had the water break in the weekend, my cell phone is ringing. What's happening? We let them know when the contractor's ready to hook up the 2 lots for water. He's not ready till next week, so Madison will be out for an hour. Is all, believe it or not, because all the infrastructure is there. So. And we offer other things. We've provided updates on the the pumps, and what's going on with them, with the intake, with a whole bunch of different things. If I see certain comments on the web or on the Facebook, or on the Facebook mostly, that I think are worthy of an answer, and I don't mean that in a negative light, but if they're genuinely asking for clarification and it can help, I've answered quite a few of those as well. And so we with the new website, it's going to be more responsive, and with our new system of fan outs and alerts, our emergency manager was happy with that when we told them that that's what we were doing. That's going to make things easier as well. So the residents are starting to get used to a bit with what we're doing. It's coming slowly, and that's okay. So we don't post every little thing we do, but we want to make sure that if we do post something, they pay attention to it, so it doesn't get lost in just stuff. Recreation posts their own information. We don't get caught up in that because it's 2 separate departments. But usually, we want to make sure that when it comes from the CAO, pay attention. So.
Okay, thank you for that. Anything else? All right, number 10, council contractor working relationship. CAO provide information to the mayor and council by sticking to the facts and avoiding taking sides by staying neutral. Any comments? Questions?
I have one, but,
Go ahead. Now's the time.
okay, well, the last words, by taking sides or staying neutral. So, I took a little bit of offense, Donna, once. I know how you feel about the sheriffs and stuff like that. But
The sheriff?
Yeah.
The sheriff?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but you made it quite clear and you weren't too neutral on that.
You're right. And certain things with policing, I probably won't, only because there's a bunch of rural CAOs that we're all banded together for a task force group on the sheriffs, because we're not sure who's paying for them, we're not sure how much this is going to go up, and we're being very direct with the minister of not directly through him, because that's through the mayor, but through his chief of staff, that this isn't well thought out. The sheriff's department should be held to enforcement on the highways, interdiction, drugs, and that's what they were trained for. They're not trained for policing. And so the sad problem for them is who's going to pay the bill when you have to send a bunch of folks that aren't trained for policing. In other words, policing is way different than interdiction on a highway. Who's going to train them? At what cost? At what cost is our policing going to go up? That's a worry. And, everybody in the know for the most part, and I've talked to Mayor Thorpe, CAO, I've talked to, Westlaw County, and there's a few more that are calling. We're extremely worried that they're going to take off a highway interdiction, grab another police service, when we already have the Mounties, when we already have peace officers. And one of the things we want to do is get the province's thoughts around giving us credit for the peace officers so we can reduce our policing bill. That's what we want to do. So critical as far as they're not trained to do what the province wants them to do, that is fact. That is not critical. And
But that's not staying neutral.
no, and sometimes I can't, because if I stay neutral on this matter, and I hear what you're saying, and I don't disagree, we try and stay neutral as we can, but it's also my job, if I can't stay neutral, I gotta let you know the background facts, so you can make a better decision. And I'm very familiar with policing, that's my career, and we see some very serious issues. You just have to look at what's happening in Grand Prairie. That was supposed to be the premier municipal policing group, brand new for Grand Prairie. It's not going well at all. And so it's my job, if I find, I'm neutral on a lot of things, but if I find that we may get in some sort of pickle here, I will let you know the facts. If you decide to go against me in a vote, that's fine. But there's going to be certain things where I won't be neutral on so that you have all the information. So your point's well taken. Some things I won't be neutral on.
I'd like to make a comment on this. So Sia, Donna, and myself attended the town hall meeting with MLA Betichenko and the MLA from
Devon.
Devon, Stony Plain. And at the end, they had a answer and question thing, and Donna went up and she made a comment about the policing, how it's not fair that, we pay for CPO, we also pay for the police servicing, and it should be deducted from that, because then how do we pay for members that are in Thorsby and Warburg and Brayton, how do you determine the price-wise? And they took it under consideration, and I will say this, that the gallery, the audience applauded, they clapped. There were 15 questions asked, and nobody said anything, but when that question was asked of the MLAs, nobody stood up, but they all clapped. They thought it was a great deal.
And just to further that, one of the things I brought up too that a lot of CEOs are worried about is this crime severity index, like his worship just mentioned. And so if you have a stolen vehicle, let's say in Rimbey, so you got one RCMP jurisdiction, then it gets dumped in Winfield, that's Wetaskiwin County RCMP, then they steal something else from a yard in Winfield and they drive it to Breton, which is Brazeau RCMP, and then they come and do a few things here. Now we got Thorsby, Breton RCMP again. And so one of the concerns that I mentioned just in my little dissertation, I mentioned to other CEOs, is so who gets the credit for the crime severity index? Because you see, we get credits. They base what we're going to pay based on our amount of crime. So all of a sudden, we're paying a high volume of crime when in Thorsby, let's say, because the detachment is here, they don't know how to split it up so that maybe it's split between 6 RCMP jurisdictions. They're not doing that. And so our fee structure may go down if that's happened. And actually, Minister Boychenko said he hadn't thought of that, and he was going to bring it back to Minister Ellis, who's the Justice Minister. So we'll see how that goes. But it's not a fair system.
And I mean, we pointed out the fact that, that our cost started in 2018, I think it was $18,000, 70, and in the next 5 years, it's going to be $150,000 a year that we got to pay.
Yep.
For policing.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean,
And their formula is so complex.
Yeah.
It's A plus B minus C equals F to the 5th degree and pi r squared times 4. I mean, that's how complex it is.
Yeah.
And it worries all of us that have been talking about that, because it's a bunch of folks, perhaps. Well, it's a civil service in the province that has some of them criminology degrees and this and that, and that's not a criticism against them, but they've never spent time in a municipality. They never spend time with the RCMP. They never spend time calculating the time our peace officers spend with the RCMP in this. So that's kind of what we're working for. So I take your comments seriously, Councillor Kevin, and for the most part, I'm pretty neutral, but I can't on that.
Okay, thank you for that.
I'm not prepared, I'm sorry, not prepared. Those kind of understanding.
All right, moving on, any other things, any other comments anybody want to make on that, council? Number 11, key accomplishments, and this really is just a very few thing here, and I mean, there's more, and it's more of a comment than anything. And establishing municipal controlled corporation with Teslin County, developing proper budget process, replacing water and sewage pumps through MSI grants, establish a state-of-the-art bulk water station, correction of all outstanding audit items, and the first time ever, no need to access our line of credit. And that's just a few accomplishments, so.
I can add to the list, Your Worship. I have a few more things, if it pleases you.
Okay.
Stabilizing staff teams, stabilizing vendors, systems being stabilized, whether it be recreation systems, whether it be administrative systems, financial systems, putting processes in place for, like, more new policies. We've got a bunch more policy work to do, more accountability, and by that I mean just telling it as much as we can the way it is. Right now, Occupational Health and Safety is working with us. It's not regulated. They're working with us to enhance our Occupational Health and Safety program. So all managers have got their to-dos, including me, and the province is working with us really well. It's a peace officer system, and they're not finding us. It's not because we did anything wrong. They're going to all the small municipalities, so it's a very helpful exercise. So we think by Christmas we'll have our whole OH&S plan done. And then, year before last, we had a municipal administration review by the province. That is also part and parcel. They do it every few years. The last one here was apparently 2019, to which I had no background, I had no documentation. But we passed it. Clerk Jess and I just have to do a few final things for the person, but out of 15 or 16 pages of stuff we had to send in with all the bylaws, the financial systems, the policies, everything we had to send in. We had about 8 things that had to be fixed, so it's pretty good. So anyways, we're just about finished that.
Thank you. Any other comments or anything you want to make about the review? No?
I think the accomplishments are commendable, and I don't see anything alarming that's come forward that I wasn't aware of, so I think everything's looking really good.
I mean, it's a tough job. All right, well, thank you. So, I guess I would like a motion to, in order to satisfy section 205 and 207 municipal government, to have this review approved by, I guess, myself, Donna, right? Our council, or we sign it?
Be a council resolution with your signature and mine, Your Worship.
Okay, and then have it on file. So if somebody would like to make that motion.
Sure, I can motion to, what you said. Except with the, I lost it, sorry.
Sorry, I also need clarification on exactly what motion we're making. I don't.
I would suggest, if I may, to help council carry out, motion to accept council's review using this document and my notes on it. I'm prepared to supply the notes. So basically, motion is council approves the resolution, the CAO's review with signature of the mayor and the CAO.
Thank you. All in favor? Carried. Thank you very much. That's, and then we'll be doing that on the early thing, and I think it's,
So will we do that again in December?
no.
We would skip till.
On the anniversaries, but every March now, right? Or will we do another one in December?
We do another one in December. I mean, that puts us back on track. There is a motion to that effect for
Yeah.
December.
For December.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that way it's at year end.
We can go through it again, yeah?
Yeah,
And then we go from December to December.
that is correct.
Go ahead.
Just as a point of order, Mayor Hoffman, I don't believe we do have a motion to reschedule the next one for December. I think that was just something you discussed at the last meeting when we motioned to limit it to this meeting.
I believe it's either in the policy or in the contract.
Oh, if it's covered there, then I'm not worried, yeah.
Might be in the
Okay, thank you. All right, moving on to 7.2, CAO and CFO contract renewal and discussion. So do we do these both the same, or do you want to do, like, I mean, the contracts, two contracts, but when we're talking about one, we're talking about both?
Yeah, the only thing that's different, Your Worship, is the duties at the back. The fee schedule is the same.
Right.
And, the duties are different in the back on the schedule. So both of them are worded the same.
Okay, so do you need a motion for each one, or one motion for both?
I would like a motion for each one, please.
Okay, thank
Two
you.
different contractors, sir.
Okay, all right, so, there we go. So start with the CFO contract. So we've discussed it. Is there any other discussions or anything anyone wants to bring up? If not, can I get a motion to?
I'd like to request a recorded vote.
Okay, yeah, you can do that, absolutely. So a motion to accept the contract of the CAO as is?
CFO, sir.
Pardon me?
We're doing CFO first.
CFO.
CFO, okay.
I'll make that motion for the signage of the CFO
Sorry,
contract.
can I interrupt for 1 second? I missed what Kevin said.
As for a recorded vote.
Recorded vote, so just,
So it
in other words, who
says-
voted for,
who says yes,
who
who says
voted
no.
against?
Oh,
For and
okay.
against, that's all.
It's an appropriate request.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just missed what it was, I'm sorry.
okay, certainly. Okay, you made the motion? So all in favor? Against? Motion is carried. Thank you.
Your
And,
Worship, I'll give the clerk time to catch up.
No, I got it.
Got it? Thank you. Sorry, Your Worship.
No, I'll be asking the same thing for Donna's.
sorry?
I'll be asking for a recorded vote on Donna's. as well.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, you're ready to go? Okay, so then a motion to, accept the contract for the, CAO as is.
I'll make that motion to accept the contract for the CFO.
Thank you. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you very much. All right, moving on to 8.1, document description approval. Who would like to make a comment on that, Sarah, Donna?
Yes, Your Worship, we can. So we conducted and completed a full scan of all closed inspections group permits that were held in the ballroom in early 2025. The files are now able to be destroyed physically. The records retention disposal municipal documents bylaw 2024-02. All subdivision files are to be stored permanently in an electronic manner. All subdivision planning files that were able to be located within the office are now scanned. Big job. Now that these documents are scanned electronically, they're now capable of being destroyed physically.
I made a mistake in my RFD. I accidentally said closed inspections group because I have all the boxes together and I got confused. I meant subdivision files, but the actual records themselves is corrected to subdivision files. That's my mistake. You already approved to destroy those, actually, last year.
Any discussion, questions from anybody? No? I can get a motion to, that the records as listed be approved for physical destruction.
I'll motion that the records as listed be approved for destruction.
Thank you, all in favor? That is carried. All right, 8.2, AB Munis and RMA Peace Officer Presumptive Coverage Support. See you, Donna.
Thank you. This one just came through, and when I saw it, I was a little upset about it. What it is this. The Alberta Municipal, or RMA, the Rural Association, alongside the AUMA, Alberta Municipalities, and the Alberta Association of Community Peace Officers, which is an association, has long advocated for extending presumptive coverage to all peace officers appointed under the Peace Officer Act. Community peace officers play a critical role in maintaining public safety across Alberta, responding daily to complex and traumatic situations in our communities, and I can attest to that personally. Despite facing risks and similar to other public safety personnel, approximately 3,000 community peace officers in the province of Alberta, employed by municipalities, public institutions, which includes Alberta mental hospitals and hospitals, are not eligible for presumptive workers' compensation for work-related mental health injuries. They're not covered. And I think it's a travesty. One of the other things I will preclude by saying I'm not unbiased on this issue, because you can't allow it for everybody else, and peace officers see a lot of stuff as well. Presumptive coverage is an important tool that enables timely access to treatment and supports by presuming, unless proven otherwise, that a diagnosed mental health injury is work-related. This approach aligns with clinical best practices and is already in place for police officers, sheriffs, firefighters, paramedics, and since July 2025, registered nurses. All very important. To help build momentum, AB Communities is asking member municipalities to send a letter of support to the government of Alberta, calling for community peace officers to be granted presumptive coverage. For recommendation, we recommend through motion of council that a letter of support be drafted from the template as supplied, signed by Mayor Austin, and sent on behalf of the council for the town of Thorsby, and we have attached the template.
Thank you. So in other words, the rural municipal, they've already sent this?
Rural municipalities and AB Munis, so
Yeah,
rural
they've
and
already,
urban,
yeah, so we're
are
just supporting them.
We're-
Yeah.
Yes, they're asking for our support, the different municipalities.
I mean, it just makes sense. Anybody have any comment or question? No? Okay. If I get a motion that a letter of support be drafted from the template is supplied and signed by mayor and council from the town of Thorsby.
I'll make that motion.
All in favor? Yes.
I'm gonna keep getting people to say their motions.
What?
I'm gonna keep getting people to say their motions, just to make sure that the wording is coming from the motion maker.
Okay.
We're good.
Did you get it though?
Can you just make the motion?
Yeah. Okay.
Town of Thorsby, mayor, and anybody and everybody support the peace officers.
There you go.
Thank you, that was,
This is just retaining to the peace officers.
that is correct.
Just the peace officers.
Yeah, so everybody else is covered.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So why wouldn't they?
because they can,
It's a great question, and I don't understand why.
Donna, can we just, this is the motion that Jesse has. Motion for the town of Thorsby and the mayor and anybody and everybody to support the peace officers.
Correct.
And that is what's
Yeah,
on
just
there.
as in here.
That's not what it says on there at all.
That's what it
Can
says.
you scroll down? The letter of, yeah, that's not what it says.
Okay.
Town of Thorsby sends a letter of support in regards to all peace officers.
Okay. Thank you.
We can accept that. Thank you, Councilor Reynolds.
All right, moving on. 10.1.
Sorry,
Yeah,
does
go
that
ahead.
include the sheriff?
Sheriff's already have it.
The sheriff's there,
Yeah,
just not the peace officers?
you got it. I don't get it. I mean, we got it, but I don't get it.
No, it doesn't make, I agree.
Makes no sense. They see just as much horror shows.
Yeah.
And especially part of a peace officer's problem, if I'm just interrupting a motion, so I'm out of order here a little bit, but a peace officer sees more horror shows in a municipality because of unsightly premises.
Yeah.
Way more horror shows, and some of the animal stuff they have to deal with. So, I don't understand it, but we are certainly lobbying for it, and we appreciate your support on that matter.
Exactly. I agree.
so the motion was made, but did we?
You haven't voted.
Yeah, we haven't voted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna wait for Carrie to come back.
Just sit down and say yes.
All right, so we've made, Kevin, Councilor Reynolds has made the motion for the support letter. Now we're just gonna, all in favor? Carried. Thank you. All right, 10.1, variance report for February 2026.
All right, so after 2 months, we are at 5% of revenue. First one was 259,501, and 12% of expenses of 521,273, making your February expenses $331,241.
Thank you. So, all these notes.
Oh, that's from the budget, I didn't mean to print them.
Oh, you didn't? Okay, I wondered about that.
Yeah, that was just from the budget
Oh, okay,
document.
I thought I was missing something.
No,
there.
you're not missing nothing, that was my mistake.
Okay, anybody have any questions for the CFO Cindy? Yes, go ahead.
What did the last water break cost us, just roughly?
That bill came in at just over 80,000, well, just under 80 before GST. 80.
And half of that was for the Supercrete, right?
Perfect, 9 months.
So see O'Donnell, if you would please, with,
Which side of the track was that? Did they?
South.
Outside.
South side.
Yeah. The, I can elaborate on the break if you like it.
Yeah.
Is that okay, Sue? The break happened, underneath the railroad tracks, the lines are sleeved. In other words, they're in a casing, right? So you can pull them up. The water break, happened 2 feet into the casing, on the south side of the tracks. We had a heck of a time chasing it, and boy, did it come up on the, by that little blue house on the side of the tracks. It was a lake, it was crazy. I got a call from, utility manager Dave at about 11 o'clock at night, Saturday night, and then, of course, Chris phoned me at 1 in the morning, do you know what's going on? Well, if you call me now, I know what's going on. So anyway, we shut off the water to a trickle, so nobody would be out of water. We had three events impacted. We had 2 residents and Argo. We stopped to talk to Argo. They used a tremendous amount of water, but they had a reservoir full of water. They were fine. We made sure the next day, we were kind of surprised. The other 2 residents, they were fine. We brought them water later on the day. So we made a determination. You can fix the break that's 2 feet in, or and shut it all up, shut it all down, or and then about, I would say probably 2 months from now, it's going to break at the other end. So you just wasted a ton of money. We pulled just about 65 to 70 feet of pipe out of there, and it was cast iron. Good thing we did, to be quite frank, and it's all done with PVC, and there's also valves at either side. When we phoned CP, our contractors have a direct into CP for construction work. CP said, oh, you can cut the tracks and just dig it all up. No, because the tracks are abandoned, but they're not decommissioned. Mm-hmm. And cutting those rails and putting that back together, no, thank you. So then we left it open. Then we had to get permacrete in to fill it in. And one of the things I'm chasing right now is, as you know, ATCO is working because they're changing all the lines in town, which is fine. They're also digging up 778. I have a call with the head engineer at ATCO in Red Deer, and I want to know if they have to fill up their holes with permacrete. I just want to find out, because if they don't, now what I'll do next is, if that's not the case, professionally and protocol-wise, I can go see the chief of staff for transportation, one-to-one, chief of staff to chief of staff. That's how they look at it. I don't have to involve the mayor and council and get permission because I'm not having anything to do with the minister. If the chief of staff says you have to have a meeting with the minister, then I've got to come back here and we make an appointment and the mayor will go, et cetera. That's the protocol. So I want to find out. So I'm waiting to hear back from the head engineer at ATCO in Red Deer, and we'll find out, because we're not the only ones having to deal with some of these secondary highways again. So talking to a few CAOs. I don't think we should have to pay for it. But now we've got a big one. The other 2, they never got back to me, but now we have 3. So I'm going to go with the chief of staff. I think that's the best route to get to the minister. So
you're basically looking at, they don't have to use permacrete, why should we?
100%. Yeah. Obviously, somebody's not following the engineering rule. Yeah. And if they don't have to,
Then why do we? But we have to.
well, our contractor he's gonna stand up for it. He's not gonna do it unless he does it the right way.
That's right.
Specification.
and it's in the engineering specs, right? But I don't know how ASCO feels their job. Now, if ASCO has to do it, that's fine. So anyways, we're working on that. So I understand they won't give us everything back for permacrete. I get that, they may not. But to me, they should create an actuarial percentage of, let's say, depending on the size of the break, depending on where it is, on the highway is what I'm talking about. And what percentage they're going to attach it to. Now, also for your edification, I've also contacted our insurance company, AUMA, and what they said is there's a lot of CEOs coming to them saying, this is stupid, we can't keep doing this. So they want me to call them next week. They want me to talk to our rep plus the project program managers and see what Thorsby thinks about this. And I do want to have some sort of insurance assurance. Whether that's a percentage, it depends how the actuarials go, but there's a lot of CEOs complaining about this too. Like the province doesn't give us enough for infrastructure, yet we're supposed to adhere to the province's guidelines, which is fine. So we can't get any insurance on this one, but I'm hoping that we can get a favorable go forward, and then I can bring it back to council. So that's what we're all doing, and I think there's been 6 or 7 CEOs ahead of me on this with AUMA, so I'm quite happy. I was talking with Mayor Thorpe and a few others, and I said, I'm going in, let's go, let's see what we can do here.
So is there a shut off on each side of the truck?
There is now. There wasn't before, yeah.
How many lines are running underneath that truck?
I know our line's running on the, what did you say? I get mixed up in my direction too. I don't understand. On the water treatment side, the west side. I don't know what's on the other side because we haven't dug it up. I would assume they usually run lines on one side of the track, so there'd be us, just for water. Might be a sewer line under there too. Don't think so though. There might be some shallow services like cable and that, but I don't think so. They usually try and run that. And I don't know why this line was run into the track in the first place.
Do you know if there's any abandoned ones under there?
No, I don't, because, not saying whether there is or isn't, but when they dug everything up, we only found the water line. But there could be. I don't know. It's an interesting question. I'll get an answer for you. The problem with that one is too, why we replaced the whole line with PVC, because PVC will do this, right? Because of the vibration of the trucks and everything going over that track. And because it has to be bouncy because of the train used to go over the track. But with cast iron pipe, right, you've got this instead of wavy. So anyways, we did not patch it. We replaced it. And we left the pipe on kind of on the side of the road there for a little while so people could see it. It broke right at a joint. Anyway, so
That was probably put in the 50s. I'm going to say 1956.
yeah, I wouldn't dispute any of that. I mean, especially with cast iron pipe, that was pipe of choice. They didn't have PVC back in the 50s. They had either cast iron or clay, or in the case of Grimby's, wood.
So the 80,000 is for last time that it broke, or an estimate from this time?
No, it's the price. We got the bill pretty much before 24 hours is up. So I wanted to elaborate on that. Sorry, CFO Cindy, took your time a little bit, but just to let you know that we're trying to mitigate some of this stuff. And we probably wouldn't bother if we didn't have to beg for infrastructure dollars, and I say that very respectfully. The rural municipalities are having to do this, in all honesty. They're giving, between Calgary and Edmonton this year, over 53 or 60 million in infrastructure. I saw an article about that yesterday. I think it's somewhere in there. Or maybe it's each, but, and of course, they're investigating Calgary's water break.
Well, they're doing
And they should. I think it's a prudent thing to do.
Yeah.
Because that's too big a line. I mean, a 6-inch line or an 8-inch line or a 10-inch line is fine, but when you get to be 50 or 60, you know, or bigger. So anyways, we're probably, I'm going to suggest this to council when we do our budget updates. I'm going to suggest that maybe we're going to have an appearance at the RMA with some of this stuff happening to get into the caucuses and so forth, and the small mayor's caucuses and that sort of thing. They do have those. I'm thinking it's going to be prudent for 2027. Sorry.
Just what you were talking about?
Yeah.
So in 2027, so the LGFF funding, Total funding under the program is $895 million, with
With
$473.7 million allocated to cities of Edmonton and Calgary, and $421.6 million allocated to everybody else. And Thorsby got $366,000.
The imbalance is very inappropriate. Especially since, and I think this is just food for thought, Edmonton and Calgary, I won't say how many years ago because I'm not going to say it right, it wasn't too long ago, advocated to be a charter city. Red Deer, Medicine Hat, Lethbridge are not. They advocated to be chartered cities. What that means is they go find their own income. They don't have to rely on the government. They can do a whole lot of stuff to find income. And they were granted that in the legislation. But they keep doing this all the time. Something breaks, and those two big cities do. And I used to work for the city of Calgary way back then. I knew their budget. I knew what they've done, and they've got money. I mean, Calgary has just about 50 B or M, I can't remember, billion or million, in their reserve. Edmonton's got it quite a bit too, but they're spending it interestingly. We'll say it that way. To keep it positive. No, they're not paying attention. And some of these old cement big pipes, you can't stick a listening device in them because they're not going to tell you when they're going to break. There's other ways of doing it. I've talked to a couple of structural engineers who said they should have done this or this, right? And which is kind of interesting to me. I learned a few things about it. So anyways, I'm recommending that council just put it in the back of their head and respectfully consider that we're going to need a voice at the RMA. For years we haven't, or we haven't anything to advocate for, but I think it's important that Thorsby supports the smaller municipalities, because we're advancing, we're doing different things here, and I think we need to be at the table.
Isn't Reed Bishop from the county of Tasman on that board?
He is, yeah, he's advocating really hard. And there's a few others, he's not alone.
Okay.
For sure, but I think we need to have, I think we've earned a place. I'll say it that way.
All right.
Sorry, CFO Sydney.
Okay, any other questions on the variance report? Not, motion to accept it for information, please.
Motion to accept the variation report for information.
Thank you, all in favor? That is carried. 10.2, the motion tracker for Q1 2026. Donna, you wanna?
Thank you, Your Worship. So we have 3 in progress. I had to shut them off because the complexity of them seems to be growing. So the first one, of course, came in 2025, motion 2025-1233, to accept that administration has written a letter to AMA regarding opportunity for funding reduction due to community peace officers. We're working that in a different way rather than send a letter right now. We're working that in a different way, and we want to leave that open so you know we're still working on it. It's not something that we don't think that we could solve in a letter, and a lot of other CAOs are not letter writing either. In fact, they've asked me to develop a task force of rural CAOs and have a conversation. So I'm working on that between midnight and 3. 2026-0210, town meeting. Motion to accept the estimate for information and direct administration to write a letter of concern from Mayor Hodson and council on this matter, and a matter of clarification on the remuneration of this police service. So we're working on that too. We're working on it through advocacy right now, rather than a letter. We will close this off when a letter comes, along with advocacy information to council, but we want to leave it on because it's again, not a one-letter situation. And 2026-0224, motion to direct administration to do a submission for the Administrative Award for Municipal and Public Library Excellence regarding the MCC with Wetaskiwin. We're leaving this one open too. Spoke with Wetaskiwin, and they want to just wait a bit so we have more to show off, basically. And it gives also the library administration, because we support them too, gives the library administration for the new manager to kind of get their feet wet more and do some cool things. So that one is remaining open on purpose.
Thank you. Motion to accept, or any discussion? Anybody got any questions? No? Pretty straightforward. Motion to accept the motion tracker for information.
I'll make a motion to accept the quarterly motion tracker of 2026 be accepted as information.
Thank you. All in favor? Carried. All right, public comments.
On all this, I have to say about what Kevin was talking, Councilor Kevin was talking about before with sheriffs and that. I don't think we should just use Grand Prairie as an example of the problems that you have. You learn from those problems and you correct them when you institute or implement your own police forces. But in my view, for the RCMP, we don't have all the officers that we're supposed to have. They're overpaid for them. Nobody seems they aren't recruiting enough or doing enough about it.
Yep.
You get better local policing the other way, and you have Edmonton, Calgary have their own police forces. They seem to operate all right. You can learn something from them. I don't think Thorsby necessarily would have their own, but the area would. And I don't think it's a closed discussion on it, that we just forget all about the sheriffs and agree to keep the RCMP as they are, because they aren't really fulfilling their contracts, I don't think, in that regard, or their duties. They do the best they can, but they're...
I don't know how many they were short, but I saw an article last night that I read that they didn't even meet their,
They didn't meet their quota.
their enrollment of people. They couldn't get enough,
No, I
recruits.
just meant it shouldn't be an
They
open
couldn't
and
meet it.
closed a closed discussion right now. There should be...
The problem with that is if they can't get it, what's gonna happen with the peace officers? So where are they gonna get the people? Because they won't be able to get them either. That's the
I
problem.
guess my point was to that is, this new peace officer that we have, I've been a big advocate from day one when we moved in town. Like, you screw up whatever, ticket the bugger, instead of educating. You learn from your wallet. I've personally got a ticket from him, and no disrespect, I know we're being recorded, but no disrespect to the RCMP. But when this young fella's in town, he does, and that's his job, but he does more for the town policing than what I personally see that the RCMP do. Now, that's his job.
Yeah.
I get that part, I understand it.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, we've got an office here with how many officers? And they've got a big area to go out to and do their job, but you very rarely see them doing anything in town. So, like, there is a big difference, but with our police officer, you see him, he's visible. When he's in here, he's not here to play, he's actually doing his job. Here to work.
Yeah, and to, if I may, Your Worship, to answer Councilor Kevin's comment, I don't disagree with you. The RCMP are in the county most of the time. And they also don't handle anything a peace officer does. They don't handle the bylaws and all that. One of the things we're working with Solicitor General is to give the peace officers a little more enhanced duties, because they have certain provincial statutes that they do. We want them to get theft under 5,000, mischief under 5, and motor vehicle collisions under 2, without injuries. And they have to have enhanced training, but that's easy. They just go to police service, get their training, and they come back. So that way, we can solve some more issues here. Typically, RCMP are in the county everywhere we go. That's where they are, because that's where the headaches are. But we also have headaches in here too.
Yeah.
I do know, though, if we call them, they're burning it in pretty hard and fast. And that's because we have a good relationship with the staff sergeant here. She and I meet once a month and that sort of thing, and I kind of get, nothing confidential or anything like that nature, but I kind of get a little more of a discussion with her about where they're at all the time. And of course, a lot of times they have an hour response time back to Thorsby, usually. So, yeah, it's hard. And one of the things I want to comment about Grand Prairie is this. It doesn't mean Grand Prairie's police service is bad or anything. The problem was they wanted 500 police officers by January of this year.
Yeah.
Where are they going to get them?
That's what it is.
Nobody's getting them. And the RCMP, there's a lot of members now that want to relocate all the time. So that's another recruiting issue. They want to stay where they're at and raise a family and not be, going all over. So
You had another question?
Just the one comment on that, or two, to add to it, the RCMP doesn't seem to be so keen on enforcing provincial laws that they come up with, if they're newer or whatever, they seem more federal with everything, and if you have your own police force in the province, they're more inclined to look after or take more interest, we'll say, in enforcement of the provincial laws than what the RCMP does, because they are federal and they take all their orders out of Ottawa or wherever anyway. It's just an added comment to that, like, there's pros and cons.
Yeah.
I mean, for what Donna says is true, and also what Kevin is saying, and a lot of other people in the province too, that has to get worked out yet, but just saying, no dice, we're staying with the RCMP, I don't think that's the right answer.
Well, it's like, it came up, $50 million or something more?
Yeah.
It's $50 million. But Thorsby's, not necessarily Thorsby's gonna be on the hook,
No, but-
100%. But then I say to myself, and that's where I kind of, when I talk to Cindy about numbers, like, you're splitting the numbers, but what are we getting?
Yeah, that's what you get for that money that you're putting out there. That's
You
what
know,
I'm
so
saying.
it's kind of touch one and touch two, right? You know, to me, it would be a little different if, and they can't go cruising around town, I get that, I know that, I'm not that stupid, but it's just, I could sit out on my front deck and I could see guys coming flying down the frickin' highway, and they're sitting there and they're filling up their vehicle, and yes, they look, but that's it. So I get a little frustrated when I see that, especially when everything's posted, this, that, and everything else.
Yeah, and just other laws, like I say, that they're instituting in the province all the time, they're making new ones, so the RCMP is just, you know.
How about sit back and just deal with the laws on the books now, instead
Yeah,
of
that too.
creating more crap and confusing it?
Yeah. But it should be more open discussion than just
It's a tough
settling
situation.
on the RCMP and saying that's it.
Thank you for that. Anything else? Wendy, you have anything? No? You're good? All right, well, thank you very much. We'll take a 10-minute recess here, and then we'll come back and, close session.
It's gonna be a bad bill, my headache is getting worse.
Do they have what?
Advil or